Imagine this. Your own government fakes a terrorist attack. Not overseas, not against enemies, against you. American lives lost, just to justify a war the public never asked for. It almost happened. This is the true story of Operation Northwoods, the plan to murder Americans for propaganda. In 1962, tensions between the U.S. and Cuba were at an all-time high. The Cold War was hot, Fidel Castro was seen as a communist threat, and the American military was itching for a reason to invade. But public support, non-existent. Americans weren't interested in another bloody conflict, so the Department of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff created something that sounds like a Hollywood script, but it was deadly real. It was called Operation Northwoods. The plan? Launch false flag terror attacks on U.S. soil and blame it all on Cuba. We're talking hijacking American passenger planes and crashing them, sinking U.S. Navy ships, setting off bombs in American cities, faking casualties, even staging funerals for people who never existed. They wrote in documents that a Remember the Maine incident could be arranged, referencing the lie that sparked the Spanish-American War. And they didn't stop there. The proposal included faking a Cuban attack on a U.S. base, creating a communist Cuban terror campaign in Miami and Washington, planting fake evidence to sell the story to the American public and the world. This was all real, all officially proposed by the U.S. military's highest ranks. It wasn't a theory, it was a signed-off plan sitting on the president's desk. The only reason it never happened? John F. Kennedy said no. He shut it down. And a year later, he was assassinated. Make of that what you will. For decades, Operation Northwoods was buried, completely classified. But in the 1990s, it came to light through declassified government files. And when people read what was in them, jaws dropped. The U.S. military had planned to murder its own citizens to manipulate the media and justify war. Think about that. Not just spying, not just disinformation, murder, lies, blood on their own soil, all to make the public beg for war against Cuba. Operation Northwoods wasn't a theory. It was a real government plan to sacrifice its own people for politics. No enemy ever touched American soil to make this happen. The danger came from inside the Pentagon, from the people in power who were willing to cross that line. If this plan had moved forward, innocent Americans would have died without ever knowing why, all for a lie wrapped in a flag. And the scariest part? Most people still don't know it almost happened.